Good morning, everyone. How are you all doing? Oh, doing well. Great, fantastic. Great to see you here at this wonderful summit. Truly an amazing event where the best of the best comes together to share best practices and best insights within the field of AI and chatbot development, especially across Europe. Now, Christoph and myself, we really want to kick off the show by providing you a future lens through which we hope that you can start viewing the presentations that you see here today and tomorrow, but also as a way to frame your ongoing discussions that you have with each other, and as Christoph, you mentioned yesterday, knowledge-sharing discussions and opportunities, right? And so the question you're probably asking yourself is, why should we be taking a future perspective? Why not just focus on what AI is capable of doing today? Well, the answer lies in the fact that the future of AI and chatbot development doesn't have a definite outcome. Like with other technologies that we've seen, AI is a tool, basically a means to an end. And the choices that we make today will heavily determine how AI will impact our business and, of course, our society at large moving into the future. Yeah, excellent. So to kind of give you a perspective, to help you see the possibilities, from where AI is today, I would like to share with you kind of like as a way to kind of help you to inform you to make more informed decisions, but maybe even more strategic decisions when it comes to your AI-driven, digital transformation efforts. I'd like to provide you with a roadmap on how we believe AI is going to further develop into the coming years. Now, my research team and I, we've been working on the futures of AI and human-centric AI for many years already, and we predict that within the next 10 years, AI will go through three very specific developments in terms of its, three phases, I should say, in terms of its development. And what you can clearly see from these three different phases is that humans and machines will become much more integrated with each other, highlighting the importance of putting the human at the center of every decision we make about AI moving forward. Now, what also this evolution also shows us is that we have to start emphasizing much more the behavioral, psychological, and ethical aspects of AI development and also AI deployment moving into the future. And of course, we love to talk about, when we talk about AI and chatbot development, about profit maximization and efficiency improvements and also cost reductions. But if we continue that discussion without taking a human-centric approach, I really believe that within the coming years that your business will potentially face commercial risks if we don't address the human-centric aspect from that perspective. Let's go to the next slide. Yes, excellent. So what's very interesting here, if we look, for example, at various companies, so even today, we can see this impact of not kind of focusing on the human element within the AI equation, especially when it comes to business decisions and also when it comes to operationalization. Now, various companies around the world, when we look at them, those companies who have already heavily focused on implementing AI and spending millions of dollars or euros actually investing in AI, what we actually find there is that most of these organizations, according to various reports, between 70 to 85% of these companies are failing to capture value from their AI digital transformation efforts. Now, these failures are partially due to startup issues, but the major reason why these organizations are failing to capture value is mainly due to psychosocial challenges in relationship to AI adoption, such as, for example, addressing the fears of customers and employees when working with AI, knowledge gaps or people and technology integration challenges, or maybe even cultural resistance, to name a few. Too much focus is going into the short-term, economical benefits of AI without taking into consideration what is important for the employee and also what is important for the customer. Now, one last thing that I would like to say before I pass it to Christoph is that. What's the last thing I'm going to say? No, I don't. No, the last thing that I actually want to say is that. I believe, when we look, one thing that's very clear about the future of AI is that in terms of its development, it will be fast and, of course, it will be very impactful. But at the same time, what we also can see is that we can see a huge decline in our understanding of how AI will impact society and, of course, our economy over the many years to come, which creates a huge gap. But what's very fascinating is we believe that our biggest challenges are actually within this gap that we're going to face with AI development and, of course, its usage. But also at the same time, we also see the biggest benefits and in terms of also our value creation opportunities falling in this space as well. As long as we can see a future where we can put humans and their potential at the center point of the decision makings that we make when it comes to AI. And I'll pass it back to you.
Well, thank you very much, Ali. So, I'm actually going to circle back to what Ali just said. Because what we realized is, like I said, we met 3-4 years ago, and Ali had this long-standing research agenda of human-centric AI, and my team and I, we've worked on another vision. At this point, I want to quickly say thank you to my wonderful teammates, Ray, who's in the back, and Mudabir, who are here with me. There, perfect, thank you. So we worked on a specific vision which we call charismatic AI. Now, where does that come in? And what we realized when we came together is that it actually fits quite well together. So we had these 3 phases, right? Right now, as Ali hinted at, we are still in the technocratic phase, and the type of AI that we're dealing with is what Ali would call pragmatic AI. Right? So it's a lot about, like figuring it out, getting the technical foundations running, and just making sure it's working as a tool. But if we want to move into the integrated phase, and at this point, there was a great kickoff. We didn't plan for that, Tom. It was a great kickoff that you did in your presentation, talking about basically, AI and human working hand in hand. This is what in your research this integrated phase is about. And we said, well, this actually fits quite nicely with the vision of charismatic AI that I've been working on with my team. So what is charismatic AI about? In the end, you need a definition of charisma. Right? And we're a very digital crowd, but I like to get physical, so I usually bring books. So this is a book I recommend to anyone who is interested in the concept of charisma. It's called The Charisma Myth by Olivia Fox-Cabane. And this is the definition of human-to-human charisma that we took as a foundation. Now, in this definition, charisma is based on 3 pillars. Pillar of power, pillar of benevolence, she calls that warmth, and a pillar of presence. So basically, all over history, human beings have been drawn to others which can move the world for them, that's power. They want to move the world for you, so they want good for you, that's the benevolent pillar. And they have the presence so that this arrives with you. Now, the central pillar, if we're talking about our definition of charismatic AI, is the benevolence pillar. So wanting good for the other one. By this definition, charismatic AI, as we define it, there's other definitions, as we define it, cannot be manipulative, because it would violate one of the central pillars. And basically, this is coming back to the adoption challenges. So charismatic AI will actually take care. It will care, as your sparring partner, it will take care of these concerns. It's not going to be a tool, it's going to be a sparring partner that says, I know you're afraid, and I'm going to show you that I am a trustworthy partner. Now, you can only be trustworthy if you do not disappoint that trust at any point. If you start being manipulative, if you start basically cheating your partner, if you start lying and you're taking the job away in the end anyway, that's not going to work. So this is what, in our view, charismatic AI is about. And basically, there's now 3 levels on which this transformation from the technocratic to the integrated phase can happen. The one is on the level of the AI solution providers. They can recognize that only the way where AI basically sees its sparring partner, the human being, as a valuable partner that wants to inspire trust, that's going to be the solutions that will survive. But there's two other levels. If the AI solution providers do not do that, businesses can still do that. Everybody that has been working in this field know we can take these models, and as a business we can say, well, I'm having a huge team, I care about that team, how do I make sure that AI is a real partner for them and not just basically a cost-cutting tool? And if businesses don't take care of it, anybody can do it. Everybody of us can take AI and can make it a veritable sparring partner. Can make sure that you create it in a way that it is trustworthy and that you can trust it. So my belief is that in the end, every of these levels will eventually come to that path. Thomas, you talked about the path where, like, human and AI work hand in hand. And why is that? Now, that's my personal belief. I do believe that's the profit maximizing way. Now, that's a strong claim, but I do believe it. I do believe that businesses that violate trustworthy AI in the long term are not profit maximizing. So this is not a claim, a high moral claim that might be conflicting with the profit maximizing objective. This is pure profit maximization. And we've seen stories, if you've been following, LinkedIn posts of leading thought leaders in this space, was, for example, a discussion, you mentioned that shortly, basically pure AI coders or human developers that work well with AI. And clearly the companies that have basically bet on pure AI agents that code have been going down, while the ones that have worked on basically enabling and empowering human coders, they have been sharply increasing. So I think this is really a profit maximizing strategy. And so, Ali, you will say that last sentence because that comes from you, and I loved it, that's why I put it on the last slide. And I let our great performer from yesterday night, there's a picture from last year actually, I put him below that picture. Thank you, Caroline.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that. Just to jump on before I make that statement, just to kind of summarize that in a nutshell, human-centric AI, or putting the human at the center, is not so much, as you said, Christoph, it's not so much a moral imperative. It is much more, as you mentioned, a business priority. And it is indeed, it's not what AI will do to you, because a lot of people are fearful of what will AI do to us. But I think we're coming to realize that AI is such a powerful tool that it's more about what we will do with AI. And again, bringing back these predictions, if within the next 5 to 6 years, we don't start thinking about putting the human at the center of our decision-making when it comes to AI, similar to what we're seeing with diversity and inclusion and also with sustainability efforts today, customers might not want to buy from you anymore, and maybe employees might not want to work for you anymore. Why, you may ask? Because you're using AI that's going to hurt me. You're not going to be using AI that's going to help me flourish. So Christoph and I hope that you will have an amazing show and that you will also take this future human-centric lens to view the presentations and, of course, also fuel your discussions. Thank you so much.